I'll be very fast. I'm
talking specifically on things that the president said, I will do. By the way, the president said, hold me to my words.
I'll be very, very fast.
I campaigned for this. I ask you to give me this, and I will. Those are the promises the president made.
I'll be very fast. So, like I said, you know, in 2016, we are the third most terrorized nation in the world. Now, we are not even in the top 5. If you look at last December, we had 1.2 million tourists come into Nigeria, Lagos. There was not one robbery, not one domestic incident, not one, nothing significant happened. Nobody was killed. In February, we had 50,000 fishermen and 500,000 spectators at Kebbi for Argungu Fishing Festival. Not one person was killed, no domestic incident. Last year, June 8th, at Ojude Oba, we had 200,000 people from all over the world. They came there. Nobody was killed. We have localized security issues, but the thing is that Nigeria is much better than it was 10 years ago. It's wrong for you to use emotion. You know, Nigerians, they can just say, which one? Na statistic I go chop. That's how we are. That's why Lord Lugard said that we are very excitable persons. If we can stick with facts and figures, we see that this country has improved. You talk about the economy. You were there. You saw
the issue of security that you're mentioning, there are those who say, yes, there are gains that are being made, but yet people are still being killed.
Yes,
this is what
because security is not... Can I respond to that? Security does not improve overnight. It improves over time.
You saw what happened in Benue?
Yes, it improves over time.
You know what
there was one incident...
In Katsina, in Sokoto?
There was one incident in Benue, and there were several little incidents before that. But what was happening 10 years ago? Remember, on Christmas Day, there were multiple attacks, and then the president would ask the Inspector General of Police to go there. The Inspector General of Police would not even obey the president. The president went there and was weeping. And then he came back and the same thing kept on happening and happening. We are not seeing that now. We are seeing that we are having effective security applications now. Things are getting better, but they are not going to get better overnight. It's going to get better over time.
And it's going to take more than 3 years to resolve.
Of course, obviously. Look, it can only take you one try to jump into a ditch. But to jump out of that ditch, it might take you 100 attempts.
So let's go quickly to the issue of power.
Okay.
The president said, if I don't provide it, don't vote for him, don't re-elect him.
Well, now, like, I'm going to say this now. I haven't seen that, but let me just say, because I have confidence in you, so let me take your word as true. But I'm going to tell you something there. When he said that maybe he was contesting, maybe he wasn't in government, so he didn't know what was in government. I was in government under President Jonathan. The Nigerian power industry or power sector has been privatized. So there is very little the president can do. The only part that has not been privatized, and it must be privatized if you go by the roadmap to power sector reforms, is the transmission. So if a president comes in, I mean, if a presidential candidate comes and says that, okay, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, he is limited by what he can do.
So you are saying Nigeria should forgive the president for saying what he knows he cannot do?
First and foremost, I have to see what the president said so that I can accurately,
let me
take
you to the issue of the economy because we don't have time.
Okay.
There are those who said that this president plunged this country into a lot of economic troubles. Inflation rate, unemployment rate, debt profile, exchange rate. It didn't take the president 2 months for all of these indices to go in the red.
Well, that is not true. And please let me respond to that. Because we don't have time, let me quickly respond to that. 2016, 10 years ago, we had a recession. We had 2 recessions.
But I'm talking about the indices before it took over. December 2022, I have the figures. I'm asking you specific, so that we're not going back to 20. And by the way, it was Goodluck Jonathan that was in power, and that's your very close,
that was close 2016, ally. President Jonathan was not in power. President Jonathan left power in 2015. But when this president took office, the inflation rate was 24%. As I speak to you right now,
APC government.
Yes, but let me land. When he took office, May 29, 2022, please fact check. The inflation rate was 24%. Today, as I'm speaking to you right now, food inflation in Nigeria is 8.89.
And food prices are not easing at all.
Oh, that is not true. Even the president's greatest critic, Peter Obi, please, can I finish, please? Even the president's greatest critic, Peter Obi, was on TV and your station